Every woman with a high body count leaves psychological fingerprints that she can't erase. I'm about to expose 7 hidden signs that reveal her real intimate history, patterns so subtle that even she doesn't realize she's showing them. Once you learn these, you'll see the truth about every woman you meet. Before I walk you through these 7 signs, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Stoic Pro, and let me know in the comments which city you're watching from. It's incredible to see how far our community reaches, and I love connecting with men who are serious about understanding these deeper truths. These patterns are recognizable if you know what to look for. And trust me, you need to stay until the very end, because sign number 4 is something that will absolutely blow your mind. It's the most manipulative behavior pattern I've ever witnessed, and it's happening right under your nose without you even realizing it. If you skip ahead, you'll miss the one sign that could save you from years of emotional manipulation. Sign number 1. She's too comfortable with closeness too soon. The first sign is something most men actually mistake for a positive trait. She seems incredibly confident about intimate matters. She talks about physical relationships casually, without the natural shyness or gradual warming up that typically characterizes women who haven't had extensive experience. This isn't about being romantically liberated or confident in her body. This is about the complete absence of natural emotional barriers that should exist early in a relationship. Women who've been with many partners often lose the ability to create emotional boundaries around closeness because those boundaries have been crossed so many times they no longer exist. She discusses intimate details with a clinical detachment that feels off. She knows too much about male psychology in romantic situations. She's overly familiar with approaches and dynamics that suggest extensive experience. Most concerning, she treats physical closeness as a casual topic rather than something sacred or emotionally significant. This comfort level extends beyond just talking. She moves toward physical closeness without the emotional investment that typically accompanies it. There's no build-up, no emotional tension, no sense that this means something special to her. It's mechanical, practiced, routine. The psychological reality is that when closeness loses its emotional weight through repetition with multiple partners, a woman can't easily recover that sense of specialness. Each subsequent relationship becomes less emotionally significant because the physical aspect has been separated from emotional bonding. Most men think this confidence is attractive, but it's actually revealing something much deeper about her past. It's showing you that intimacy has become commonplace rather than meaningful in her life. You'll notice she doesn't blush, doesn't show natural feminine modesty, doesn't have moments of vulnerability around physical closeness. These responses aren't outdated or repressive. They're natural emotional reactions that protect the bonding process. When they're absent, it signals that the bonding mechanism itself has been damaged through overuse. Sign number 2, emotional walls that never come down. The second sign is perhaps the most telling. She maintains emotional distance, even in what should be intimate moments. Women who have been with many partners often develop sophisticated emotional defense mechanisms that make a genuine connection nearly impossible. She can be physically present, engaging in conversation, even participating in relationship activities, but there's always a part of her that remains unreachable. It's as if she's performing intimacy rather than feeling it. This emotional unavailability isn't shyness or taking time to open up. It's a fundamental inability to let someone in completely. This shows up in how she talks about feelings. Everything remains surface level. She doesn't share deep fears, childhood experiences that shaped her, or vulnerabilities that would create real emotional intimacy. When pressed for deeper connection, she deflects with humor, changes the subject, or gives responses that sound meaningful but reveal nothing real. She struggles with emotional reciprocity. You share something meaningful about yourself, and her response is appropriate, but shallow. She can't match your emotional depth because she's learned to keep those depths protected. This creates a one-sided emotional dynamic where you're always giving more than you're receiving. If you've ever felt like you're dating someone who's emotionally unavailable, even when she's physically present, this might be why. Women who have been with many partners often lose the ability to form the deep emotional bonds that create lasting relationships. The emotional walls extend to how she processes relationship conflicts. Instead of working through problems together, she tends to either shut down completely or end the relationship. She hasn't developed the emotional tools for deep relationship maintenance because her pattern has been to move on rather than work through difficulties. This emotional distance isn't temporary or something that will improve with time and trust. It's a fundamental shift in how she approaches emotional connection, created through repeated cycles of bonding and separation that have taught her that emotional investment leads to pain. Sign number 3, an unusual number of male friends. The third sign involves her social circle and how she manages relationships with men. Women who've been with many partners often maintain unusually large networks of male acquaintances, many of whom are former intimate partners, or men who are clearly interested in more than friendship. She receives constant messages from different men. Her phone buzzes with attention from multiple male sources throughout the day. When you ask about these men, she dismisses them as just friends, but the frequency and tone of contact suggest otherwise. These aren't casual friendships, they're emotional and attention-based connections. Many of these friends are men she's previously been involved with. She maintains contact with former partners in a way that suggests she keeps her options open. This isn't about being mature and friendly with exes. It's about maintaining a network of male validation and potential backup options. She struggles to maintain genuine friendships with women. Her social circle is predominantly male, not because she has masculine interests, but because she's more comfortable with male attention and validation. Female friendships require emotional depth and reciprocity that she may struggle to provide. The psychological pattern here is validation seeking through male attention. Women who've been with many partners often develop an addiction to male approval and interest. They need constant confirmation of their desirability from multiple sources because they've learned to equate male attention with self-worth. And here's what most men don't realize: these friendships are often her backup plans. She maintains emotional and communication connections with multiple men so that if your relationship ends, she has immediate options available. This isn't conscious planning. It's a subconscious safety net created through experience. She has difficulty setting clear boundaries with male attention. Men who are obviously interested in her romantically are allowed to remain in her orbit, receiving mixed signals and encouragement. She enjoys the attention too much to cut off sources of validation, even when it's inappropriate for someone in a committed relationship. This pattern reveals an inability to fully commit emotionally to one person. She needs multiple streams of male attention to feel secure, which means she can't invest completely in building something deep with you. Her emotional energy is distributed across many relationships rather than concentrated in one meaningful connection. Sign number 4. She weaponizes vague answers and missing details. This is the trickiest one, and it's where the real manipulation begins. When a woman is hiding infidelity, especially a wife, she doesn't lie outright. She distorts. She leaves just enough truth to make you feel crazy for doubting her. Ask where she went last night? She'll give you a general answer. Out with friends. Which friends? Just the girls. Which girls? She'll change the subject or laugh it off. Why are you being so insecure? That's not insecurity. That's your gut knowing something's off. Women who cheat become masters of plausible deniability. They never give full answers, never let you confirm anything, but they never give you something you can confront either. It's the perfect psychological trap. You feel like the bad guy for even asking. And here's where it gets darker. She starts flipping the narrative. She accuses you of being controlling, insecure, even toxic. Why? Because if you're the problem, she doesn't have to be honest. If you're on the defensive, she's in control. This isn't accidental. It's intentional emotional manipulation. It's how cheaters keep their double life hidden. They keep you confused, unsure of your own instincts, second-guessing yourself constantly. And if you don't catch it early, you'll waste years in a relationship that's been rotten at the core from the beginning. Sign number 5. Sudden changes in routine and physical appearance. When a wife is cheating, her daily patterns start shifting, but subtly. She gets home later than usual. She suddenly has meetings, workouts, events that she never used to have. Her phone is glued to her hand or flipped face down on the table. You'll also notice a new obsession with her appearance. New clothes, new perfume, more time in the mirror. And before you assume that's a good thing, ask yourself, is this attention aimed at you or someone else? When a woman becomes emotionally or physically involved with another man, she reinvests energy into her image, but not for your benefit. It's driven by desire for outside validation. She's lighting a new fire, and it's not in your bedroom. You'll also see new behaviors, locking her phone, hiding notifications, suddenly deleting messages. She might even start taking better care of herself physically, hitting the gym hard, changing diets, but all of it comes with emotional distance. The why behind these changes is what matters. Sign number 6. She picks fights just to create distance. This one hurts. A cheating woman often starts manufacturing tension so she can justify stepping away emotionally or even physically. She becomes cold, critical, easily annoyed. Suddenly, everything you do bothers her. But here's the truth. She's not really angry at you. She's creating friction to relieve her guilt and give herself a reason to cheat. If you're the bad guy, then what she's doing feels justified in her mind. It's classic projection. She might start saying things like, "We're just not compatible anymore," or "You never really understood me." But these aren't reflections, they're excuses. She's rewriting the story of your relationship so she can walk away from it with a clean conscience. This is how emotional manipulation works. It's not about truth. It's about control. She rewrites the narrative until you start to believe you deserve to be lied to, until you stop questioning it at all. Sign number 7. Her energy shifts, but she won't admit it. Cheating creates an emotional split, and no matter how well she hides it, her energy changes. She becomes less present, less affectionate, less emotionally available. Sex becomes robotic or disappears entirely. And when you bring it up, she gaslights you. She'll say, "You're imagining things," or "I'm just tired," or "I'm going through something." She'll act like it's a phase, a mood swing, stress from work. But deep down, you know it's more than that. Her soul is elsewhere. A woman who's cheating is constantly managing 2 emotional realities, and you're in the one she's trying to escape. You feel it in the silence, in her phone habits, in her lack of eye contact. Her body is here, but her loyalty isn't. And here's the worst part. She won't come clean unless she's caught. Because in her mind, she's still the victim. You drove her to this. You weren't enough. That's how she justifies it. But none of that's true. She made a choice, and you have every right to know. If you noticed more than one of these signs, don't ignore it. Emotional manipulation and hidden infidelity are cancers that only grow with silence. You deserve the truth, even if it hurts. And the truth is, no man should live with a woman whose loyalty is negotiable. If this hit hard, hit that like button, subscribe to Stoic Pro, and share this with a man who might need to hear it. Your awareness is your power. Use it